I'm filming this without a microphone, so the sound is gonna be terrible, and I think we should all make our peace with that already. I have here 3 Fairyloot boxes. I was able to subscribe to Fairyloot very recently, I think in February for the adult book only box, and in March for the young adult book and items box. I've been wanting to subscribe to them for quite a while because I like surprises in boxes. I have been subscribed to Illumicrate for a while, and I've been doing unboxings for a little bit less than a year now, and it's a hit or miss. Often a miss, especially with the items. Well, that's not true because the books also aren't always my favorite, but I thought, hey, life is short. I don't know, I have no justification for any of this, but I like surprises in boxes, so I'm subscribed to Fairyloot now too, at least for the time being. Look, none of this is sponsored. I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about all the things that I have in these boxes, and spoiler alert, it's not gonna be very flattering this time. So let's stop trying to justify this and just go into the books. How did I manage to put the address on both sides of this box? Anyways, we're gonna start with the adult book only box for February 2023. Now, these boxes arrived pretty much all together at the same time, which is why I'm doing the unboxing all together at the same time. And I already opened them a few days ago because I was way too curious to know what's in them, and I didn't have the time to film it back then. So I'm not gonna pretend like I'm surprised by anything I see here. I'm not that good of an actress, and I don't have the energy for that kind of stuff. The theme for February was A Voyage to Chaos. Let's see. I already know what the book is in here, and it's probably the one book I'm actually excited about from all of this mess. And that is The Adventures of Amira Al-Sirafi. This is a book that I believe has already been released this year. If not, it's going to be released very soon by the author Shannon Chakraborty. Now, if you think this name is familiar to you, you're probably correct because Shannon Chakraborty is the author of City of Brass, I believe, although she goes by initials there. Now, this is an adult fantasy book, and I don't remember anything about it, though I read the synopsis a while back and I was quite excited by it, so I am looking forward to reading it again. The one book that I'm actually looking forward to. Now, this is the cover of the book. It is very similar to the original hardback, I believe. I will put both that and the paperback on the screen so you can make the comparison. And this is the back cover. To be honest, I am not entirely sure how to feel about this cover. It is nice. Very nice, but I find it slightly too busy. They kept some elements of the original design which fit quite well with the original design, but here it seems a little bit like a mishmash of styles. I don't know how I feel about it. It's not ugly, don't get me wrong. I think it's still beautiful, but I find it, again, slightly too busy. If you're hearing noises, my cats are playing with the carpet and there's no stopping them, so it is what it is. This book also has these beautiful sprayed and stenciled edges. I always like a nice sprayed edge. This is the full dust jacket. I don't know if the camera can capture it all. And this is the naked hardback. Now, I find this very, very beautiful. I think I can detect a little bit of a zodiac theme here, or at least moon phases theme. I don't know. I have that feeling. I really think this spine is gorgeous. What you will also find in this book are these very beautiful end pages. I find them still a little bit too stylized for my taste maybe, but I also kind of like them. They give a certain feeling about the world that you're gonna enter. So yeah, I gotta appreciate a good map. There appears to be a signature on the book, but I think it's actually printed with the page itself, not written by the author in hand. There is a nice title page over here. Another nice map. Black and white this time, and some nice header art for the chapters. Now let's look at the synopsis. A pirate of infamy and one of the most storied and scandalous captains to ever sail the seven seas. Ooh, I guess I mispronounced the name of the title to begin with. Amina al-Sirafi has survived backstabbing rogues, vengeful merchant princes, several husbands, and one actual demon to retire peacefully with her family to a life of piety, motherhood, and absolutely nothing that hints of the supernatural. But when she's offered a job no bandit could refuse, she jumps at the chance for one final adventure with her old crew that will make her a legend and offers a fortune that will secure her and her family's future forever. Yet the deeper Amina dives, the higher the stakes, for there's always risk in wanting to become a legend, to seize one last chance at glory, to savor just a bit more power, and the prize might be your very soul. Sounds quite interesting. It's gonna be probably a quest, so I'm always up for a quest. As I mentioned, I was intrigued the first time when I read the synopsis, and I am still intrigued reading it now. And that is the book. Again, I think this was a great choice for the book. Not sure how I feel about the cover design, though I'm leaning towards it's pretty, just a little bit too unclear in its style. And just to clarify, I'm not an art specialist, not an art critic, so all of my opinions you can take with a grain of salt. I'm just a person that looks at things and shares her opinion. Now, this was a success with this box because I am pretty sure I'm gonna read this book, if not this year, very, very soon. Let's jump onto the next box, and that is the adult book only box for March. The theme for March was rotten opulence. Well, what a great theme for this video too. Now, this book I had never heard or seen anything about before, so it was a brand new thing for me. And the book is, what was it? The Foxglove King. And the author of this book is Anna Whiten. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. My apologies. This is the front cover, the spine, and the back cover. And we have the best feature of this book, I think, so far, these lovely sprayed and stenciled edges that go all the way around. This is the full dust jacket, and when you turn it around, you have an alternative cover, which, to be honest, I'm not a big fan of, but to be even more honest, I'm not a big fan of this one either. Now, I'm gonna put here the original cover, which is very similar to this one, just with a different color scheme and general feel to it. I don't like this neon element here. I don't like how it matches with everything else. It doesn't entice me to read this book, and I find it unappealing. Now, the naked hardback, I'm also not a big fan of. I find this a little bit too busy. Like, what's the point of putting these elements of flowers on the back and then slapping, I think this is silver embossing, on top of that? It's too much. I think it would have been better had they left the book like a single color, the background, and then slapped the embossing on top, or just left the flowers and then had like a gentle white title on it. Again, I'm spending too much time critiquing art when I'm no art expert, but it's just that, I don't know, one of the big things about Illumicrate and Fairyloot and all of those boxes is that they provide you with a special edition. You know, it creates certain expectations that it's going to be overly pretty, that's going to be very special, and sometimes it ends up being a little bit too, I don't know, a little bit too much, I guess. And this is an adult book, so I would expect it to be a little bit more subdued, maybe. But we have some end pages, which, again, this is an adult book. Does this look like an adult book end page to you? And this is the end page on the back. This belongs entirely on a young adult novel. And I think we have the same situation with the author's signature on this book. It appears more so printed with the page than actually written by the author by hand, which, again, not a big deal. And I think that concludes everything that is special about this book in terms of art. And let's see what the book is about. When Laura was 13, she escaped a cult in the catacombs beneath the city of Delaire. And in the 10 years since, she's lived by one rule: don't let them find you. Easier said than done when her magic ties her to the city. Mortem is a magic form from death, and it's a high-priced and illicit commodity in Delaire. Laura has made a living running poisons for the city's underbelly, but when a run goes wrong, she's captured by the king and expects to be sent to the pyre. But the king has different plans. Laura's thrust into the sainted king's glittering court when no one can be believed and even fewer can be trusted. Guarded by Gabriel, a duke-turned-monk, and commonly running up against Bastian, the king's ne'er-do-well heir, Laura tangles in politics, religion, and forbidden romance as she attempts to navigate a debauched and opulent society. But the life she left behind in the catacombs is catching up with her. And even as Laura makes her way through the sainted court above, danger from below draws ever closer. Okay, let me be honest. This is a young adult book posing as an adult book. All of those tropes, all of this setup that I just read for you belongs entirely to young adult. And you can never convince me otherwise, because those are the things that I was excited by when I was a young adult. And those are the things that I see overly populating the young adult genre. I'm guessing this is in the adult box because it probably has some more graphic sexual content. But that's not the only thing that usually makes an adult book. It requires a more deeper setup, more deeper character development, and a little bit more adult themes, not just graphic content. Now, granted, I haven't read this book yet. This is all just conjecture based on the synopsis that I read, and I might be very, very wrong. And if I am, I will apologize once I read this book. But for the moment, I get this impression that this is, again, a young adult book posing as an adult book. The design of the book, the synopsis of the book, all of it speaks to me young adult. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Let me know what you think. I feel like I'm a little too harsh on these things sometimes, but I'm getting kind of tired of being misled. And it's time finally for the young adult book and items box for March. Ta-da! The theme for March was, I think, Eternal. I'm not entirely sure. And this is the spoiler card if you'd like to read it before that. I obviously already know what's in the box, although I probably forgot already. The first item is Wrath Metal Bookmark, and it looks like this. Now, I like the color scheme of this with this nice yellowish orange and this nice blue. I forgot. There is a word for that color, but I forgot it. But I'm not a big fan of the topless dude just standing here and staring brutally. Pretty design. I'm not a big fan of the content. This is Metal Bookmark, designed by Monolime Art. The bookmark depicts Wrath from Kingdom of the Wicked by Kem Maniscalco. Never read this book, probably won't read it either. It's another bookmark that's gonna go in my box of bookmarks that I never open. Next, we have this little baggie. It's just a velvet bag with a little bit of stitched design on the front and some stitched stuff on the back and these nice little tassels. Now, I gotta say, here on the back, you can probably see the stitching is not of the best quality. But again, this is a subscription box that is not that expensive, so you can expect the best quality. I like the design on this baggie. It is a tarot pouch. Oh yeah, right. They do the tarot cards every month, and this is a pouch where you can keep them. It's designed by the Quirky Cup Collective. The embroidered pouch is perfect for safeguarding your Fairyloot monthly tarot cards, or can even serve as a TBR pouch. Oh, you can probably put some book titles here and then grab them from here. It is not bad, but I can't see myself using it for anything. I will probably store here the tarot cards that they send, like it was supposed to be. Still love the design here, though. It's pretty nice. Next, we have a plate. And it's based on The Bear and the Nightingale, which is a book that I actually quite enjoyed when I read it a few years ago. And the plate looks like this. Now, I gotta be honest, this is the one item that I actually liked from this box very much because it's the one item that I'm actually gonna use. Obviously, I have plates, I'm not plateless, but I do like the design on this one. I think it's cute and I think it can go very well with some cookies or other nice snacky stuff to be put on the table. It's very pretty. I've always been a fan of the Russian aesthetic, and though it's usually more colorful, I do like this subdued black and white design. So this is a ceramic plate designed by Blanca Design. The plate's design is inspired by the amazing book covers created by, oh my god, Michael Allag Design. Okay, I'm just gonna put the name on the screen because it's very, very long. For the Fairyloot editions of the Winter Night Trilogy by Catherine Arden. If I can find a picture online of the book covers that they speak of, I will put them here up on the screen. Very nice design. I like it. I'm gonna use this plate. And the last item in this box, besides the tarot cards that they put in the box every month, is this sticker sheet. We have a cat sitting in a window, a mirror, book,
a key, a moon, and clouds.
All kinds of readery nice stuff. Let's see who designed this. Bookish sticker sheet designed by No One Designs. I'm having a really hard time reading these social media handles. Create a dreamy aesthetic on your reading journals, water bottles, laptops, and more with these enchanting vinyl stickers. I like these. As I said in my Illumicrate unboxing video, you can never have too many stickers, so I'm gonna happily use these. And last of the items, we have these two tarot cards. This is what they look like on the back. And again, this is what they look like on the front. We have 3 of stars and 4 of stars. I don't know who these people are, so let's see here. The tarot card set features Elspeth as the 3 of Stars card and Raven as the 4 of Stars card. The characters are from One Dark Widow by Rachel Gilling and were illustrated by the amazing Sarah Mirza Art. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing this. Okay, I never read the book, so I don't know who these characters are. And to be honest, not a big fan of tarot. Never got into it. It's just not for me. So I'm gonna keep these and I might gift them to a friend of mine who I know is very much into tarot, and I think she might enjoy these very much. I don't know how a set can be completed when I already missed a bunch of cards, I'm pretty sure, but I will keep these and again give them to my friend if she wants to take them. If not, we can always recycle. And now it's time for the book of the month. This is a very tiny volume as compared to the other hardbacks, and the book is ta-da! 7 Faceless Saints by M.K. Lobb. Never heard of this book before, but I kind of like the style. Not sure, but I think I like it. It seems pretty grim, and that's always good. We have this as the spine of the book, and this as the back cover. It is admittedly smaller than the standard hardbacks that you get in these boxes usually, but I do not mind it. Ooh, and we have sprayed and stenciled edges, which have definitely taken a big effort. The naked hardback looks like this. This reminds me of the Illumicrate special edition of Gallant by V.E. Schwab. Now we have this end page. And do you see what I mean when I said that the Foxglove King looks like a young adult book? Because the end pages are very similar. We have, I think, in this case, an actual signature by the author over here. And I think that's pretty much all in terms of appearance. So now it's time to see what the book is about. A brutal killer stalks Umbrazia, a city ruled by the disciples of the 7 Faceless Saints. A city where those with magic live in comfort whilst the rest struggle to survive. A city caught in a 20-year war of attrition, a battlefront consuming a generation of conscripts. Roslasar Tosa will do anything to tear down the corrupt system of Umbrazia and get justice for her father, who was murdered by the military, including infiltrating the Palazzo to spy for the rebellion whilst training as a disciple of the Saint Patience. Damien Venturi is the youngest captain in the history of Palazzo security, expected to be ruthless and strong, and expected to serve the Saints with unquestioning devotion, but he's scarred by his experience on the front line, striving to please his brutal and detached father. And the thing he fears most is facing Roz, who he left behind when he went to war. When a disciple is murdered, Roz and Damien must team up to hunt the killer, no matter the consequences. They must face their buried emotions and the love they once shared, as they uncover corruption and conspiracies that will bring darkness and chaos to the streets of their home. Okay, not a bad synopsis. It sounds somewhat intriguing, and I do love the aspect of these people knowing each other and being close to each other and then falling apart because of circumstances and now having to come close together. So it could be an interesting story. We'll see. And that does it for this unboxing today. To be honest, I'm a little disappointed. I don't know what I was expecting, but from all of the things that I got, I am only excited about this book. And from the items, I like the plate. I'm starting to think that the people who work in the companies that compile these boxes and myself have either a radically opposed taste or their strategy is to target a market that is definitely not me. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought of these books, about these items. Are you excited about them? All of those things. Thank you so much for watching. And if you'd like to see some of my Illumicrate unboxings, check out this playlist. Bye!